Hello, America! JOC here with your Ranting Politics headline updates, where we are diving into today's most explosive political stories that you need to know about. Coming up, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is going all in defending Trump's controversial tariffs. And wait until you hear his take on the American dream. Meanwhile, a fascinating new study shows women business owners are crushing it compared to their corporate counterparts. In crypto news, Trump just dropped a bombshell executive order creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Yes, you heard that right. Plus, we've got drama on Capitol Hill with a high-ranking staffer's DUI arrest after Trump's big speech, and a sobering story out of South Carolina that's stirring up intense debate about capital punishment. Stick around for all this and more in your daily dose of unfiltered news and common-sense commentary. This is Ranting Politics Headline Updates. In what might be the boldest defense yet of America First trade policies, Treasury Secretary Scott Besant just threw down the gauntlet at the Economic Club of New York, basically telling Wall Street to take a back seat while Main Street takes the wheel. And folks, his words were crystal clear. The American dream isn't about scoring cheap stuff at Walmart. The markets took a nosedive after Trump slapped new tariffs on Canada and Mexico, though there's now a 30-day pause in effect. But Besant isn't losing any sleep over it. He straight up said he's not worried about inflation, pointing to Trump's first term when similar tariffs didn't send prices through the roof. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Our trade deficit just shot up 34% in January, hitting a whopping $131.4 billion. But instead of seeing this as a problem, Team Trump sees it as proof their strategy is needed. Bessant's basically saying, yeah, companies are stockpiling imports before these tariffs kick in. That's exactly why we need them. Speaking of tough talk, Bessant didn't just stop at trade. He's ready to go nuclear with sanctions on Russia if it helps end the Ukraine war. And he's got Iran in his crosshairs too, promising to make Iran broke again. That's some serious economic warfare talk, folks. And for all you deficit hawks out there, here's a sobering number. We're already $840 billion in the hole just 4 months into fiscal 2025. Bessant called this the last chance bar and grill to fix our debt problems. But hey, at least those tariffs might help pad the government's wallet a bit. According to reporting from the New York Post, this aggressive stance on trade isn't just about economics. It's also being used as leverage to tackle issues like fentanyl smuggling and illegal border crossings. Talk about killing two birds with one stone. Some fascinating new research just dropped about women in business. And let me tell you, the numbers are telling quite a story. A recent survey found that 91% of female business owners are feeling fulfilled in their professional lives, compared to just 55% of women still punching the corporate clock. But it doesn't stop there. This satisfaction is spilling over into their personal lives too. What's really catching my eye is the massive wave of female entrepreneurship we're seeing. Get this, 58% of current women business owners started their ventures in just the last 6 years. And an incredible 89% of aspiring owners are planning to take the leap in the next 5 years. These aren't just dry statistics. We're talking about a real transformation in the business landscape. And why are they making this jump? Freedom is the big driver here, with 62% saying they wanted more control over their lives. For the 42% who have kids under 18, this flexibility is absolutely crucial. The numbers don't lie. Before starting their businesses, only half felt they had the freedom to pursue their passions or take time off. Now, a whopping 93% say they found that freedom they were looking for. But let's keep it real. It's not all smooth sailing. These entrepreneurs are facing some serious challenges. They're telling us they could have used a better understanding of the business landscape, more support from other business owners, and let's be honest, about half of them said some extra funding would have made a huge difference. The really encouraging part? Nearly all of these business owners agree that it's crucial for the next generation to see women running businesses in their communities. We're not just talking about individual success stories here. We're witnessing a fundamental shift in how business gets done in America. According to this study, conducted by Talker Research for Kitty Academy, what we're seeing isn't just a trend, it's a movement. These women aren't just building businesses. They're reshaping the American dream on their own terms, all while creating a blueprint for the next generation of entrepreneurs. In a major shift for U.S. digital asset policy, President Trump just signed an executive order creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This isn't your typical government program. It's going to be funded entirely through Bitcoin seized in criminal and civil cases, meaning taxpayers won't be footing the bill for this one. Now, word on the street is that Uncle Sam's already sitting on about 200,000 Bitcoin, though nobody's done a full count yet. Trump's order is changing that, demanding a complete accounting of all federal digital assets and putting the kibosh on selling any Bitcoin from the reserve. They're treating this like digital gold, folks, a permanent store of value. Here's where it gets interesting. The Treasury Department's also setting up a U.S. digital asset stockpile for all those other cryptocurrencies they've confiscated. But there was some drama over the weekend when Trump suggested including other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano in the strategic reserve. The crypto crowd wasn't having it. Even Bitcoin billionaire Tyler Winklevoss stepped in, saying only Bitcoin makes the grade for a strategic reserve. And you know what? The administration listened. White House crypto and AI czar David Sachs, who's got some serious Silicon Valley street cred, confirmed they're going Bitcoin only. The experts are calling this a game changer. As Nick Carter from Castle Island Ventures put it, having the US-backed Bitcoin puts it in the same league as gold. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about hoarding digital assets. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick are working on ways to keep building this reserve without breaking the bank. And according to Sachs, the U.S. has already missed out on over $17 billion by selling seized Bitcoin too early. Talk about learning from your mistakes. The real significance here? This move is essentially Uncle Sam giving Bitcoin his stamp of approval, drawing a clear line between it and other cryptocurrencies. It's a pretty clear signal to Wall Street and institutional investors that Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. Though as fintech investor Ryan Gilbert warns, they'll need to resist the temptation to start trading it. This is supposed to be a long-term store of value, not the government's crypto day trading account. Well, it looks like the celebrations after President Trump's congressional address took an unexpected turn when House Speaker Mike Johnson's Chief of Staff Hayden Haynes found himself in hot water with Capitol Police. Around 11:40 p.m. Tuesday night, Haynes managed to back his car into a parked vehicle near the Capitol, leading to his arrest on suspicion of driving under the influence. Now, Speaker Johnson isn't throwing his longtime aide under the bus. In fact, he's standing firmly by Haynes, who's been his right-hand man since 2017, and even managed his campaign back in 2016. Through his spokesperson, Taylor Halsey, Johnson made it clear he's got full faith and confidence in Haynes' ability to keep running the show, citing their nearly decade-long working relationship and Haynes' stellar reputation among Capitol Hill's movers and shakers. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill DUI incident, folks. We're talking about the Chief of Staff to the Speaker of the House getting arrested right after one of the most significant political events of the year. It's the kind of thing that normally might spell career suicide in Washington, but Johnson's unwavering support suggests Haynes might weather this storm. Though I've got to say, backing into a parked car right outside the Capitol building, not exactly the kind of parking job you want on your DC resume. In a stark reminder of how our justice system continues to evolve, South Carolina is set to mark a significant milestone this Friday with their first firing squad execution in modern times. Brad Sigmund, convicted of murdering his ex-girlfriend's parents back in 2001, chose this method over the electric chair and lethal injection, making this the first execution by firing squad in the United States in 15 years. Now, here's where things get interesting. While some might consider this a step backward, advocates argue that the firing squad could actually be more humane than lethal injection, which has become increasingly problematic due to drug shortages and botched executions. Even Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor has noted that death by firing squad might be comparatively painless and near instant. The procedure itself reads like something from another era. A hooded inmate strapped to a chair with a target over their heart, faced by volunteer officers awaiting the command to fire. 5 states currently allow this method: Idaho, Mississippi, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Utah. In fact, Utah's been doing this the longest, with at least 144 civilian executions by firing squad since 1608. This brings up a fascinating debate about what constitutes humane in capital punishment. While lethal injection was once seen as the modern, civilized option, its track record of complications has some experts suggesting we might need to reconsider older methods. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, lethal injection has actually become the most frequently botched execution method. And that wraps up today's headlines on Ranting Politics. We've covered everything from Trump's controversial tariff policies and the groundbreaking strategic Bitcoin reserve to the remarkable surge in women-owned businesses. We also dove into that DUI incident at the Capitol and South Carolina's significant shift in execution methods. Remember, folks, we're bringing you these unfiltered updates daily to keep you informed without the usual partisan spin. If you're enjoying our no-nonsense approach to news, make sure to follow us on X at RantingRP. You can also catch us on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. For more detailed coverage and our full archive of stories, head over to rantingpolitics.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter and read our Deep Think blog articles. We're committed to bringing you America's fastest-growing daily news rundown, perfectly sized for your commute. This is JOC signing off, and thank you, our loyal listeners, for choosing Ranting Politics headline updates. We'll be back soon with the updates you need to navigate these interesting times. Until then, stay tuned, stay informed, and as always, stay free.